morning, Ann. How are you?
Hi, Matt. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am in Las Vegas, competing at U.S. Open for table tennis, which is like a
Okay.
once a year big tournament in here in the U.S.
It's
So
amazing. How are you feeling?
I'm tired.
How
I've
many
been,
games have you played so far?
I played five. Yesterday I played five.
Wow.
Um, so there's an event every day.
Okay.
Yesterday I got eliminated in the playoffs, and then today, I got three more shots. So that's kind of how
Okay.
they're different events, but basically just stream as
Got
like
it.
separate tournaments.
So what happens if you advance or win, or like what's at stake and how many people are playing?
There's a lot of people playing. So yesterday
Okay.
was after I passed preliminary rounds. I think it was round of 32, so 64 players.
Okay.
64. Let's see. So 64 usually a round robin. So I think there's like 256 in
Okay.
one event at least.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do a round robin first to see if you're even qualified to keep moving on.
Oh, gotcha.
And only one person advanced in that group. So it's usually like a group of four.
Oh,
So you have to
okay.
beat everyone in that group, then you advance into the actual bracket.
I see. Awesome. How do you
And
feel you did
then
yesterday?
I lost to a guy who was a little bit more. I didn't apply the right tactic, so it wasn't like a
Oh,
skill. It was my friend told me it was more tournament experience. Like if you have a lot of tournament experience, this wouldn't happen. But I wasn't playing against the guy's weakness. His weakness is very weird, and once I figured out the weakness, he adapted, and I mentally I forgot my original plan because it's best of five. The games are best of five, so I was down 0-2. I before the next match, I really came up with like kind of a better strategy. I won the game, or after those two games, I won the next game, so I'm one
uh-huh.
two,
Yeah.
and then he adapted, and I forgot the original plan because
Oh, no.
even though even though he adapted, his weakness is still there. He just made it one step more difficult, and
I
I
see.
didn't. I just forgot because
Yeah.
that one step threw me off. Not threw me off, but it made me think of like, okay, the original plan doesn't work anymore. Think of a new plan.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
need to do that. I just needed to say keep with the plan, but I just have to do a couple more steps to do it, one or two more steps to do it. So all these like strategic things all happen within seconds. So that's what's a little bit difficult about it. Anne, are you still there? Is it me? It's not me. Hello?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Interesting. Sorry about that. We'll see if it
No,
goes out again.
no
Weird.
worries.
Okay.
I was the only one talking, so we'll figure it out. I'll tell John
I
that.
froze. We'll see how we edit that. Okay. So we left off with you were the only one with the plan, but then you didn't go to plan with him changing his tactic.
Yeah, and all this stuff happens in a very like couple seconds. So
Oh,
right, if you kind of probably
you have
maybe
to think
even
fast, very fast.
right. So when he adapts, you have to remember the recall of the whole big picture. The
Yes.
new big picture. I would say the new big picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like
Mm-hmm.
usually my technicals are pretty strong, so usually I just go in. I can just dominate on quality, like more power, more spin, before
Yeah.
I need to think about technicals. I should have for this type of player way earlier on be like, okay, I need to actually think a little bit more strategic because he is the antithesis of my whole style.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
so even though I eventually did figure it out, I wasn't able to keep it maintained the vision while I played the fourth game, and then I lost that one.
Oh, okay. So how many games do you have today? 3?
No, it doesn't. If I go to finals, it will be like 32, 16, 4, 2. It'll be 7 to 8 matches.
Wow.
It's not that big of a deal though. Like
Really?
because I'm not playing.
I've never played table tennis, so I don't know. I'm trying to understand.
I train, so the amount of endurance needed here isn't too bad because I'm not actually playing hard. You play by placement and you play by spin, you play by direction. You don't need to hit the ball hard. You don't need to run hard. Points are ended. This is why table tennis is not very popular in the US because it's kind of boring. Good games are ended very quickly. Serve, you serve, they get the ball back, you kill it.
Okay.
It's tactic. It's tactic. It's not like any other you're trying to make the other opponent not do a single thing.
Interesting.
So I'm not spending a lot of energy necessarily doing a lot. If I am, either the other opponent is better than me or I am applying potentially the wrong tactics.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to pivot then. So speaking of thinking super fast on your feet, you had mentioned that there's a lot of new updates and changes in the world of AI. And I know for me, I don't keep up with it as much as you do. But seeing some of the things that I've seen about it, it is changing hourly, not even daily. So I would love to hear from you. What do you know about the world of AI and all of the changes? Because that also feeds me as a business owner.
So there's two things that are happening in the wider ecosystem. One is, and you may already know this, is GPT 5.2 released, but it didn't really release with like anything that would make someone care.
Okay.
I think the only note that was maybe the only thing that was maybe notable was it stopped being so nice. It started trying to be more grounded because it's getting way too optimistic on its responses and like forever keeps saying with follow-up questions. It was kind of weird.
Interesting.
And it still does it, but it's in what is alarming and Sam Altman already did like some weird code red memo 2 months ago, is if 5.2 release and there's virtually no change, 5.1 release, it was virtually no change. Where is 5.3, 5.4, and whatever 6? Where is that going?
Where do we have to go? Exactly. Those are my thoughts.
If you're OpenAI.
Yeah. What do you
The other piece to this is they're very expensive. I think there might be the most expensive API provider. So all the tools like we use day to day in business, if there's an AI feature, they're powered by AI cloud company that hosts open source models, or they're using Anthropic, OpenAI's models, or they're using Gemini. So you're either using top models or open source models. That's basically it for all the tools that we use day to day.
Okay.
If OpenAI is the most expensive, but they're no longer number one, what does that mean? You're paying the most amount of money for a mid-tier large language model. Yeah. Compared to the landscape. Right. Even open source is catching up. It's catching up real fast. Now some argue, they can't use like DeepSeek or Gwen because they're a Chinese model, which is fair.
What is Gwen?
It's another LLM model that's built by Alibaba back in China.
Oh, okay.
It's a very good model, actually. But there's some other, even though they're open source, you can host it yourself. There's nothing about data. There's bias to it. You might be talking about the wrong topics, and it will try to just not talk about them. So so a lot of folks don't want to use those LLMs because it's not pure freedom of speech. We'll say it like that.
It's not neutral.
But I mean, the LLM models that we use are also censored. You can only talk about certain things as well. So it's whoever I don't know. I think it's more political than really those principles.
Yep.
But that raises the survivability of OpenAI. I mentioned this before, that OpenAI is a startup. This is exactly how startups operate.
Yeah.
Right? When 6 months prior you're a leader and then the next 6 months you are no longer a leader, it's very similar to a startup culture. So I know you and I were talking like, how can you be a startup if you have like 5,000 employees? Well, here's a very good case because those employees, those contracts they sign, if they can't maintain number one, their valuation is going to go lower, and also revenue will go lower because people are going to take the best model for the cheapest price. That's actually the name of the AI game. It's very similar to cloud hosting. You pick the best cloud hosting for the cheapest price.
Yes.
AI is going to be no different. So if OpenAI cannot get in there, or if they're going to position themselves with premium, they have to be so well advanced in the premium world to make it work. But they're not even there yet. So you have a survivability rate with OpenAI.
Who are the front runners in the AI game with OpenAI?
Right now, Google. Gemini is. I mean, you have Nano Banana, which I now use almost every time I'm doing marketing.
Do you? Okay.
The idea of
Matt, for everybody, tell what Nano Banana does, because Nano Banana. Say what it does.
Yeah. So if you say you just want to do like a Merry Christmas social media post, and maybe either you have a reference that you want to use. Yeah, we'll just say you have a reference you want to use. You found this reference online. Be like, hey, can you just edit it and say these words? Yeah. That's all you have to say, and it kind of knows what you're trying to change. And it'll change the graphic. It'll change all the text. It'll change in the exact style. It could be any style you want. Yeah. And it'll change it, and it looks like it was done professionally. Yeah. By a graphic designer.
It's an amazing creative tool for sure. Okay.
And
thank you for that.
Yeah, so they got so Google has Nano Banana. There is, Google is Gemini for just normal text stuff, and then it has VO3, which does video generation. All three of those.
Now, I hadn't heard of VO3. I'm not using VO3.
It's the same as Sora too. It's the same.
I was just going to say, is it the same as Sora? Now, does it do the watermark on there like Sora?
Well, Sora and VO also both don't do the watermark, but only if you use the API.
Oh, I see.
So, our company, we work with all their APIs.
I literally found a free tool online to get rid of the Sora watermarks on all of my free stuff.
Eventually, there's going to be an AI model that can get rid of any watermark anyway. So it's just there.
It's just there in the beginning. Okay, so you said VO3.
Yeah. So
it's Google's video maker.
Right. So top level.
We're looking at that.
They got the text generation, they got the image generation, they got the video generation that are either comparable to OpenAI or better.
Right.
For at least 20 to 30% less in cost.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then you have on the other side of the spectrum open source models.
But hold on, before we move on. So Gemini's bias. What do we know about that? Is Gemini?
So it was OpenAI. OpenAI is super biased.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we talked about this before. Okay, they're both biased, but do you know what biases? Do you know where they gravitate?
Exactly. We talked about that on another episode too. Right. That was a very.
So it doesn't quite matter if there's bias or not, because you can say, well, it has bias. What are you gonna do about it? So you're gonna use it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You're forced into using it. But
all LLM models are trained off human data. Human data is inherently biased.
Yes.
Especially if the researchers or the training or the instructions of how to train are pointing based on the direction of the researcher who has bias.
Sure.
Right. So it's impossible to avoid it.
Right.
From a B2B perspective, at least for we use it for customer support, we use it for video generation. That bias doesn't seep in. We can't tell. So for us, it doesn't matter. Maybe for other purposes it does, but.
For what I use it for, coming on the other side of the spectrum, that's not the scientific data Matt guy, right? It's the human, emotional, kind of clueless to tech and perspective. It's coming in with, I use AI for a lot of, I call it closed source, personal strategy planning, content creation, or just structure, outlining certain thought processes. So I'll have voice notes with myself, throw it in, ask it to do certain things based on what it knows about me. So I don't really want it to necessarily pull from everything it knows always. Sometimes I do, but when I think I'm using it as closed source, now I could be wrong, but this is how I think I'm doing it. I will attach certain notes or documents or transcripts and say only using the attached X, draft up a paragraph that frames, and then I prompt it all out of what I want it to do. Now, I don't know if it's also going and using all of the internet that it knows and all of the history and information, or if it's strictly following my lead and saying only pull
It's
from.
only following your lead. At the end of the day, LLM.
I'm hoping to trust that, Matt. I'm hoping to trust, but I'm also a really uneducated AI user, in my opinion, even though other people would say I know it well, but I don't know it well enough. And so these are the things I lean to people like you, where I say, well, I think I'm using it in the way I want to, which is closed source, which is me, which is personal, which is my documents, my transcripts, my voice, my thought processes, and then it helps me.
Well, they're not. Well, hold on, that part may be wrong, because it's not your thoughts that it's mirroring. It is mirroring what has found on the internet based on how you described it.
I see. So
they're not yours. Is there
even if I attach the documents and tell it to only use the attached documents to formulate what I'm asking?
Of course you can prompt that, but it doesn't mean...
Is it happening, Matt? That's
what
it
doesn't mean it will force it. The reason why is because the instructions and the data are merged as one prompt at the end of the day. So when AI is looking at it, it's very easy to hallucinate down the line, right? Here are instructions, here's information.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll focus on the information more versus the instructions.
Yeah.
Right? So some models actually have different actual classifications for instructions versus non-instruction content.
I see.
think Llama does that.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not a foolproof thing to do. Of course you can put it there. Everyone does. I think even the top models, when they look at that, they use it as a marker as well. But I see. It's not guaranteed. And the LLM model
is in the back of my mind,
even though it's following, I'm saying it's following your lead because that's the only thing it can do, right? If you just put "Hello World" in the prompt, it's just following the lead of like, okay, what are the concepts of "Hello World"? It's a programming thing. It's a boot up thing for computers and tech. There's a history to it, right? Mm-hmm. So if you look at it from following your lead, it's just data points on a map, and it's saying whatever your prompt is, it is just matching as many close data points as possible. So the more the bigger the model, the more data points it can work with, the more dimensions it can work with as well.
Okay.
So it's just a mathematical, this information is close to this word or this phrase or this context. Mm-hmm. Let's pull that in and use that as a reference point.
Got it.
A lot of people think it's like, oh no, it's we're getting so close to AGI. We're getting close to fully sentient things, but it's that the current architecture of how LLMs work is not ever going to be an AGI or a sentient AI level thing, because all it is just, here's information on a map. Mm-hmm. Here's the information I'm trying to find the closest distance to it.
Right.
That's all it
has.
Right.
That's the capability of it. That's the box that it's put in.
So we don't have, it doesn't do anything more than that. So that means it can only follow your lead. But the misinformation here is it's following your lead within the context of what it knows.
I see.
Not what you know. Even if you put a bunch of things in the prompt that says only follow this, how do you tell it to ignore everything else
that it knows?
And oftentimes we don't want it to ignore everything else, because to understand the information in the prompt that you provided, that you say you have to understand the back history, the back story of why the information is important.
Yeah.
That no one's prompting against either. So it's
fascinating.
Yeah. So there's a lot of nuance to it, but that's really that. I just watched a video on YouTube Shorts the other day that really broke this down in the simplest words, and I was like, "Yep, okay, that was it." It's a mathematical. Well, it's the mathematical model. It's just you look at you're looking at on Google Maps and you're putting a direction to go somewhere. That's literally how LLM works.
Yeah.
Per
you're prompting a direction and it just takes you there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So it's we'll just pretend that's one dimension.
Okay.
Right. One parameter that it's going. Now, some of these have 40 billion, 100 billion. So take 100 billion of those directions going.
Yeah.
Computes it into text. or
it's mind-boggling to me. It is mind-boggling to me how it can take the ocean of what you're asking it to find, and it can wrap it up for you into a sentence.
Sure,
and sometimes the sentence works and other times it doesn't, but it is wild for my brain to comprehend what it's actually doing.
Yeah, and there's different strategies to it, but just like wrapping up the whole ocean, you get some seaweed and you get some dead fish in there too. So
I love that. You definitely get some dead fish.
So there is it's not perfect, but anyway.
What else is happening in the world of AI that you haven't shared with us yet?
I think one more point would be, shoot, I lost my train of thought. I've gone so deep in the other one. Just give me a minute.
Okay. They're playing Christmas music in the lobby where I'm working today, so I'm delightfully
everywhere. I was playing
peace.
I was playing poker. It was there too.
Yeah. How did you do with poker? No, I'm not going to derail you. AI. We're going to stay straight.
All right. Let me recall.
So
we had talked about 5.2. Oh, because we already talked a little bit about Google. That's why. Okay. Mm-hmm. No, it was already 2 points, but I'll finish. It was a merge of 2 points. Let me finish it up. So then, the other piece of AI is, if Gemini is going to be a continued leader, mm-hmm. or maybe a new one comes up, or even OpenAI matches Gemini, then OpenAI still has a survival issue. So say they catch up because the pricing's too high.
Yeah.
Pricing's high because they signed all these crazy contracts, and they have all these employees, and they have researchers they have to pay, and they have a very large R&D budget. Mm-hmm. Right? Google, public company, already established. Everything's already set in motion. They already got investors, they're already, everything's already planned out. So when you look at OpenAI's ability to survive, at least in these past 3 months, they do not look like a number one company. And what does that mean for our day-to-day use? I don't think OpenAI will ever I don't think it will.
No, I don't think so either.
But the reason why it's hard to tell, because what if Gemini gets really, really good of maybe even say we get 10% or 5%. I don't know what the rate is right now, but whatever our hallucination rate, Gemini is able to just drop it down. Mm-hmm. That's worth changing, because now you can market yourself as, we're the most accurate AI. And I know
playing into the fear that a lot of users have with the newness of AI. If you're concerned about accuracy, if you can drop that rate, as you say, and say we're the most accurate, I think from a marketing perspective, that would be very fair.
I think we'll drop it significantly, which I think Gemini is getting there. You drop it significantly, and you say, mm-hmm. you're the most accurate, because all of us, I think I'm going to use AI more than you. Every day there's an inaccurate thing, and I have to double check myself on what is the inaccurate part.
Because and that's the difference between you and I don't use AI too much because I don't trust it. I don't have that trust. So for me, I'm like, why would I create more work for myself to do all of these different things with it when I have to double check it? Because
it's a better search engine. It's a better way to think of it. So if you go on Google,
you're using Atlas.
Things there anyway. But you're using it to get a baseline consensus. You're using it to understand, okay, what is this content 10,000 feet above? Even if it's a niche thing, you're still looking at it 10,000 feet above in this niche category.
Yeah.
It's AI is the same thing, right? It's just in Google, you get these nice results that wildly differ. So you can go in and come back out, go in and come back out. Yeah. AI is just doing it all at once. So So it's hard to tell, but if you treat it like a search engine, it works.
Oh, hang on, Matt. Sorry.
Are you a guest of the hotel?
No. I just got kicked out of my spot. I have to leave. Hotel just came and said, "Are you a guest?" And I said no. And they said, "Well, you're going to have to go down to the main floor," because I'm up stairs.
Yeah.
Which is closed. So.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get you in trouble anymore, but this is actually
we're going to keep this in there because it's so human. It's so like, oops, your plan doesn't always work. No, that's funny. Yeah, sometimes your plan doesn't go as you wanted. I always ask for forgiveness instead of permission, and they left. They're like completely gone. So anyway, good luck with the rest of your tournament, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, man. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.